Hi, my name's Angel Arroyo, and I'm going to be doing the senior collimating project, the demonstration. And we start. Hi, Shane. Thank you for coming. I'm just going to ask you a few questions before we decide to give you the job or not. First question, if I could ask you, what experience do you have?
During this past summer, I've worked at a local restaurant that I've gained great customer service, great problem solving skills, and I believe that's something that your company will adore.
Okay, one of our job requirements also is to deal with customers and customer complaints, if any. So a situational fix is also mandatory. You need to know how to handle customers. So if a customer were to bring you a bag and say that they had an incomplete order, how would you handle the situation?
First, I would apologize to the customer and then offer them either a refund or to replace their meal in order to compensate for the inconvenience.
So McDonald's is also a very stressful job to have at times, especially during peak rushes. So how are you with handling stressful situations?
The most important thing is to stay calm, and if you let a hectic situation get a best of you, it's just gonna go downhill from there.
McDonald's is also known as an iconic fast food restaurant. What opportunities do you see yourself having working here?
I see myself being able to work up the company, and I see management as a great opportunity to gain valuable work experience.
And for the last question, what skills can you contribute for our team?
I'm a great team player and I have a positive attitude, and I think your company would benefit greatly from what I have to offer.
Thank you, Shane. I'll go ahead and give you a call if we decide to give you the job, okay?
Thank you for your time and consideration.
Okay, another example for the department management for McDonald's is scheduling. And an example would be the request days off book. Employees are told as a company policy that they need to put a request days off 3 weeks before the date of actual schedule. We have an employee schedule book. This schedules book is also, we do this every week. So that's why the employees need to request days off 3 weeks before, so we have more than enough time to cover their shifts. Hours are scheduled based performance and availability. Only dependable people will be scheduled. Anything else will either be terminated or your hours will be cut. Frequent callouts, tardiness will result in disciplinary action, write-up, suspension, and terminations. One of our other books that we have is a TPCA book. This is basically a time punch correction approval. Under California law, it is not allowed and it is illegal to correct anybody's time punches without their approval. So we go through every single day of the month, and each employee must individually sign the book according to the dates that time punch changes were made to any times that they were clocked in. Another thing that falls into the category of my department manager would be crew. Our crew is very important to us here at McDonald's, and another thing we do to make a positive environment for crew is we celebrate their birthdays. We will give positive reinforcement when crew achieves another step or promotes or does positive things on the floor. Another thing that most, if not all managers need to know is how to run a proper shift. This includes having a DSPT, which is a dynamic shift positioning guide. This also helps us look at what amount of sales we're gonna have per hour, how many employees we need, and how many we actually have, and how many we cannot cut, depending on what our labor is. Labor is depending on a product sale to actual people you are paying. So if you don't have products sales, you shouldn't have a lot of employees. Another thing we do is travel paths. Travel paths is our store, is our way of checking our store. We check a lot of things. We check the outside, drive-through, restrooms, the playland, lobby, trashes, and also the back of the house. A huge one also is checking in with the customer, seeing how their visit is, and if they have any feedback at all, positive or negative, that will benefit the company. The final example I'm going to give today is The Voice. The Voice is basically a customer feedback system that we use at McDonald's. It gives us positive and negatives in the entire store, depending if it's on drive-through or front counter, or if the store was messy one day and maybe I wasn't here or the general manager wasn't here. It allows us to make improvements in those areas that people are telling us. It's basically what the customers can see and we cannot. And it's a huge way to help us, because if we cannot see it and they can, that is a negative and we need to turn it into a positive. We also have a customer recovery system that any customer that has a negative experience at a McDonald's, we try our best to have the customer come back so we could turn it into a positive. So we usually give them accommodation for the inconvenience, and we fix the situation at all cost to get the customer back to us so they could still like McDonald's and try to come back and see that the one-time thing shouldn't be determined, so they not have to come again.